So who's doing some actual spring cleaning right now?
I actually am. You are?
I did.
I'm just starting the process.
Of spring cleaning.
Is this something you do every year?
No, it's not. One of my favorite things about spring is that there are a lot of neighborhood garage sale events. And usually I'm going to them doing the shopping, but this year we're having one. We are in declutter mode, tearing through boxes that we haven't opened in a couple years since we moved into our house and getting ready for that.
So have you found stuff as you're tearing stuff apart that you're like, oh, I kind of want to get this?
Some things, like we found some kitchen utensils that are still in the packaging. We're like, okay, you know what? It's probably a good thing that we replace ours anyways.
What I'm hearing is you are making room for all the stuff you're going to buy at everybody else's garage sales.
See, that's the thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll be able to go to any since I'm running my own.
What are you going to do with all the money you earn?
That's a great question. I could put it towards my financial goals.
Because you're going to spring clean those two?
You bet.
See what I did there?
So today we're talking about spring cleaning your finances.
I don't know. What spring cleaning your finances mean? Cleaning all your money? Counting your coins? I don't know.
For people who are listening, Alexis and I are wearing donuts. I just want to point that out, that we're really struggling. Cooper and James were pretty lame and did not want to.
Do not even. James made us wear matching shirts, and you are covering your shirts up.
Well, these donuts are really warm. I think they just came out of the oven because...
Yeah, now it looks like just you and James matched.
We coordinated.
Yeah, matchy.
Just wanted to represent.
Represent what?
Royal Credit Union, giving back since 1964.
When we started in the Uniroyal Tire Plant. 60 years ago.
60th anniversary.
Okay, so we're spring cleaning our finances.
Yeah, so for me, when I heard that, it was just taking a look at what's going on and trying to figure out if there's stuff that needs to be updated or products that you should be thinking about.
And I think tax time, too, is a good tie-in with this. You know, we talked about taxes recently, and that's really a time when a lot of people take a closer look at their financials and are looking at, okay, what am I saving from a retirement perspective, and what am I spending my money on the right things? Maybe isn't part of the tax conversation, but it is a natural extension of it during the spring cleaning season, I guess.
Filing taxes makes you think about your financial picture.
I think that's why it's so uncomfortable. Is that why I don't like spring cleaning either? It's just another season, you guys. Can we just keep on keeping on?
Do you think
It's
that
fresh. It's
motivates
new.
people to take a look at their budgets? Is it
Springtime?
like right now? Yeah, tax time, springtime.
I think that for some people it probably does. I don't know. I think about it. Spring is fresh.
A new start, new season.
It's a new start. It's different this year here in Wisconsin. We didn't really have that long, sad winter.
That's
right?
true. That's true.
Knock on wood, it could still happen. But you get into spring, it's fresh, it's clean. You want to, start. Summer's coming. It's fun and happy, right? But I think that can make people maybe look at their finances, might also make them avoid it too, right? Because you're like, oh, shoot, now summer's coming and we wanted to take that trip, but I don't know, looking at taxes, we didn't get the return I thought, and, so on and so on. So I think it could go both ways. I think it's all about how you look at it.
Well, to make it simpler for people, are there certain areas that they should prioritize looking into if they don't want to look at all their finances? What would be the top 3 to 5 that they could look into?
Looking at kind of your financial goals is going to be number 1, which goals can be more than that 3 to 5. But knowing you have some and then going in and saying, okay, how am I going to reach those goals? Probably looking at budget, looking at spending habits, looking at credit, debt profile. That could be a big one. I think that both of those are really good. And even if you feel like you're in a good financial position, going in and reviewing your spending habits. Are you spending a lot going out to eat? Are you paying a lot for new clothes? What's going on? Just do a little bit of a check-in there. I think that you could get that base down first and then always expand on it, right? Then you can look in, okay, am I putting enough away for retirement? Do you have a 401k hanging out there from a previous employer that we could finally roll over, right? What do you want to do? I think that all aligns with the goals. So setting some goals for yourself, even just, I'm going to start having a budget this spring. That can be an awesome goal.
We can cut this, but how do you guys feel about rolling over your 401k? Is it smart to do that?
It depends. I mean, there's no penalty for it. I think it depends what it's currently invested in and what your returns are and then what you could get. So like rolling it to ours, if you're getting like a 2% return currently, well, you can pick your investments with ours. So if mine gets a significantly higher return than that, I'd probably roll it over.
Steve is asking, what does this mean for me? Like, what should I do? Oh, shoot.
It depends.
Well, because I still have my old 401k and I just let it be. And
Is it earning anything?
yeah.
Does it have high fees?
Yeah. There are fees with it for having it just hanging
Sometimes
out.
it's called the expense ratio, but now we're way in the weeds. So
We're not doing math.
Yeah,
today.
that's a whole new
Not today.
episode about
Okay.
401ks.
Did you roll yours over?
I did not.
Have you looked at it though, just to keep up on it?
I do keep up on it. Yep.
Okay, sorry.
So
Is it-
step one for spring cleaning your finances are just taking a little inventory of your 401ks.
That is a probably good takeaway for me.
Seeing what happens.
How about, is there habits that you are getting into that you're looking to change? For me, I take lunch walks, and I've been stopping by Quick Trip to pick food up, and
it's delicious.
and it's delicious.
It's
but
so good.
I'm just like, maybe I should cut back on how much I'm spending. I'm gonna cut that whole part.
No, I think that's good.
That hurts. It's too honest.
Yeah, there's a couple things. One, I spend a lot of money eating out, and it's kind of twofold, right? So for me, I'm just one person. Cooking for one gets really boring because I don't like to eat the same thing over and over, whatever, right? I think we should start like a cooking for one community and then like food swap. That'd be genius, right? And a grocery store where you can buy individual.
Like single portions.
Yeah, like kind of like produce. You can buy one pepper. I want that for everything. I want 6 noodles for my lasagna so I can make a half a pan. That's my dream. 4 slices of bread because I'm going to have 2 sandwiches. That's what I want.
It's like a subscription service is what you're describing.
No, I want a grocery store where
just
I
get
can
Blue Apron and call it a
get
day.
the same thing, but make choices that are smaller.
Single style.
Yeah, genius. It would be smart.
How about joining a group of like other singles or couples, and you all like take a night where you make a bunch of food and then just spread it around, but you don't actually spend time together because nobody wants to do that.
See, that's where I was thinking I don't want to hang out with
See, that's what
people.
I'm saying. Yeah, nobody does, but
Could be like a
I want to
Facebook
eat
group.
their food that they make for me.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
then you switch.
Yeah.
That would be smart.
You'd
So-
have to be very trusting of their cleanliness, though.
Well, yeah, that's another
You
thing
guys.
about.
That's why I'm hesitant on potlucks all the time.
Yeah,
You never know where the food comes from.
yeah, it's true. So besides that, for myself, I know McDonald's Diet Coke is something I spend a lot on. So trying to buy Cokes at home. I mean, they're not that much, but they've increased in price. So a couple dollars a couple times a week adds up, right? My other one, and I've been thinking about it more, is I've been working with a financial professional, so like financial advisor, for my own peace of mind, making sure I'm on track, which sounds silly because I'm a financial educator, right? But so just making sure I'm on track with things, that I'm not saving too much, which sounds silly, but that's something I've really started to look at, where I always feel like I don't have money and I'm putting money away. But I took an inventory of my financial picture and said, okay, you're totally saving enough for retirement. You're good on your emergency fund. And so making some adjustments like that to just, I know we say save, but you have to enjoy your money too.
But
Right?
that's spring cleaning right there. That's
Mhm.
yeah, nice.
Absolutely.
So those are a couple things I'm doing personally.
Cool.
I have an example. So a month or so ago, we received our mortgage and escrow analysis from our mortgage lender. And we found out that our monthly mortgage is increasing by $50 per month. So we're like, okay, let's just take a look at our budget, make sure that we have enough going to that mortgage account. So even with the uptick in that monthly mortgage payment, we're still fine. Well, as we were looking at that, we came across a subscription service that we did not know we were paying for. And it was just like a streaming service. We haven't watched it. We thought that we did the free trial and then didn't do anything. So we thought that we didn't have it, but we've been paying for it this whole time. That was a really good opportunity to look at our other subscriptions and be like, okay, what streaming services are we using? Which ones are we not using? Which ones can we just stop paying for? And that was a really good eye-opening experience, because it's like sometimes you never know what you're spending money on until it hits you. And it's like, oh, there it is.
Subscription story. So I just did that too. Looked at subscriptions. So
Sorry, before you
What?
get deep into this, how do you look at subscriptions? Just look at what, like, your monthly bill and see like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
Or you
I
could look
know-
at like your account statements too. Like you could look at your bill from the service, or you could look at like your account statement, like your checking account if you pay your bills from that, or your credit card if you pay your bills from the credit card.
So I try to have all of my subscriptions going on just one credit card so that I can, one, get the reward points and whatever that is, but also so I can keep them in one spot and easily look. Does that always happen? No. I have looked at my other credit card and been like, oh, that's interesting. So I just did that, and I have a subscription for a software service. I pay the subscription fee. I get access to all their software or programs, I guess is a better name for it. With that, then you can have a subscription to access like the images, and then you can have one to get fonts and all that, right? I did a free trial of the one where it's an add-on, and so I can get all the stock pictures and stuff and use them because I was using them for something. Well, I didn't cancel it. And so it's like $35 a month, okay, for just that portion. And so I went on to cancel it, and I would have to pay over $100 for an early cancellation fee that I did not know that I agreed to, because who reads the fine print, right? Now I had to calculate it out and think, okay, when is the subscription actually up? If I pay the $100 now, is it better than paying the $35 a month until then? And it washes out to be about the same. Looking at subscriptions, but being really mindful when you sign up for them and to cancel
Yes.
those free trials, because now sometimes you're in that position too. And that's new. I haven't had one like that for a long time where you have to pay the early termination fee.
My example is my wife likes to drink chai tea lattes
Ooh.
every day.
From where?
We have a subscribe and save subscription to a chai tea powder,
Ooh, I love it.
like as a product
Yeah.
from Amazon. Alexis is over there taking notes. So it gets delivered every month or 2 months or something like that. But then on the days when we don't get up early enough and the kids resist getting ready for school on time,
So it's the kids' fault.
it's kind of our fault too, because we could have, gotten up earlier or inspired them to get ready without the same amount of struggle that has delayed the family in the morning, things like that. So on those days, she gets one to go from somewhere. It could be $6 a day, or it could be like 60 cents a day. Or I mean, not necessarily that 60 cents. I don't know if that's actually the right number, but
So is that good motivation for you to get the kids moving earlier?
kind of sometimes.
Like, this is costing me $5.40 if you don't get up right now.
I think you have to do the math on that, right? So if that was every day that your wife was buying that $5.40, I think that's the example I use in class. 5 days a week is $140 a month, and whatever. So it's a lot over the course of a year. But if it's just on Fridays, it's a special treat. That might be fine, right? You account for that. And then Monday, because Mondays are Monday. It's the whole thing.
You could find a reasoning
Yeah.
to treat
Right?
yourself every day of the week.
Right? Just because I want to. I don't know.
So this leads into my next thing is like where we talked about subscription services, but where are other pockets where people can save?
I mean, subscriptions are a big one. I think, like I mentioned, going out to eat,
Yeah.
right? Just being mindful of that.
One that I thought of is if you pay to have like a grocery club subscription, or I don't know if it's called a subscription, membership, that's the word. Like at Costco or Sam's Club, if you're only going there once a year and you're not even buying a whole lot, does it really pay to have
Yeah.
that?
Pro tip, they have those on sale a lot. So you can get Sam's Club for like $25 a year sometimes. So if you are going to have those and not utilize them as heavily, buy them on sale.
I think that makes me think of like time versus spending money. I think people run into the point where they don't want to think about, like, I don't want to track all that stuff. I don't want to be looking for deals and pinching pennies. So I'm just going to spend the money. Speaking from experience, I'm that way where I don't want to spend a lot of time, but then I also don't want to spend a lot of money either. So I'm in this constant.
That's where the inflatable couch came from, right? Like from way back.
I think you bring up a really good point with that, where it kind of goes back to what are those financial goals? And I know we go back to that, create a goal, set a budget, but budgets and goals can be so unique to your situation. So you look at them, you figure out what your values are, right? If you really want to save for a down payment on a car, okay, so maybe that is our one goal. Let's focus on it. Maybe that means only stopping for coffee once a week now. Still convenient, but maybe you make it at home or you skip it. We're just cutting down on it. So I think that you don't have to track as closely as someone else, and you don't have to do the complicated stuff, but you have to align it with what works for you and what's going to actually help you meet your goals. Maybe it's not signing up for all the subscriptions. Maybe you don't do that just so you don't have to manage them, right? Or maybe you are okay paying more. I think the grocery membership was really a good example. But if you do like pickup, so you do grocery pickup or delivery, some of those have an extra fee with them. Well, maybe that fee is worth it for you because you can just look at everything online. You feel like you're getting the good price. You're not going all over and you pay a little extra, but everything's there. You're not impulse spending on all the other things you see at the grocery store. You know, you don't have to be the ad flipper and go to all the different spots, but figure out like what can make your life easier and then do that more.
And I think at the end of the day, a lot of people don't realize that it's okay to talk to other people about it too. Like get some advice from a professional. If you've looked at your budget or you're like, I don't even know where to start even, it's okay to stop into a Royal Credit Union office and talk to someone. You can schedule an appointment. It's called a financial review. They do a great job of talking with members. They do it all the time. So they're very familiar with the things that, you know, can save money and opportunities and things like that.
You can also check out if you are still a little hesitant walking in and talking to someone. Royal has a brand new financial education platform called Enrich. So you can go to rcu.org/enrich, and they have a whole budget calculator and budget analyzer on there. All your information is secure and safe, so you can put in your numbers and it'll help you figure out, you know, what to do and suggest other articles and things for you. So that can be a good one. Even doing that before you walk into the Royal office can be really helpful, where you're like, okay, I put the stuff there. I kind of figured it out, but I'm really struggling with actually making it happen. That's where all of our team members have that expertise, right? Utilize all the tools.
And then you're listening to this podcast, so send it to a friend or a family member, and then once they listen to it and subscribe, you can request that they pay you for that, for your services. So I would suggest doing that. So make sure you leave a comment.
Self-influencing.
Yes. Like, Mom, you listen to that podcast? Yeah. Send me $5, Mom. That was free advice. It wasn't free advice. This was a podcast that I listened to. It's Money Donuts.
You know, I like the way you're thinking. We should ask Carly if that's a viable business.
Send articles and TikTok videos to people.
Like, that was so helpful.
Maybe that's actually
excellent. $5, please.
Like, that could be another spring cleaning tip, right? Like, look for a side hustle. Like, how else could you earn income type of thing? Maybe.
Evaluate if you can afford a new hobby. I started sewing again. It's pricey. So I'm like, do I sell the things I sew to fund the habit, or what do you call that? It's not a habit. It's a hobby. Fund the hobby. Maybe.
I'm going to start charging people for my friendship.
See how that goes.
You will have $0.
Wow. You guys turned on me. You guys could have indulged me a little bit and be like, oh.
If I had a penny for every time Steve
I'd pay
said
top
that.
dollar.
There we go. I'm glad you're part of the podcast. Yes. Bye, everybody.
That was it?
That was it.
Okay.
Oh,
Steve is
that's my
rodeoing?
ending. No, that's my ending dance move.
Oh, are you going to put it in the video so people can see it?
Do we need like
No, he's doing it for us.
like audio captioning? Like, Steve is twirling his right arm above his head in a circular motion while grasping his elbow and bouncing around in his seat. Like,
Make sure to capture the facial expression too.
Like riding a horse and
do you guys remember we were coming up with dance moves to end the thing?
I think that you said that maybe one time.
We talked about it twice.
I think that maybe we didn't talk about it again for a reason.
we didn't say dance moves, did we?
Well, it was
I'm
like
pretty sure it was
like
dance
a-
moves.
like Alexis
Like a sign off.
Yeah, it's like a sign off,
Secret handshake.
like a Carol Burnett. You know, like a
Isn't that
It's
like
like steal home
tipping
plate,
somebody
steal
up?
home
Yeah,
plate.
right. Curveball. No.
All right, never mind.
It is opening. Could have tied it into baseball. That was a grand slam. It was just opening day for all the baseball teams.
Spring cleaning.
Spring training your finances.
Bye,
No?
everyone.
Okay, bye.
Alexis is like, stop talking.